Greetings and salutations. Hold up, my camera just started falling over when I hit that live button. Don't fall over. Okay. Live chat. It's a little late and it's a Monday. Let's see who's up and who got questions. No! No! This is why I do these in the other room. Because you're a bugaboo trying to protect me from all the nasty people online. No! Go, back, lay down. Hello, 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 Marlene. Hello, Tukawaka. Hello, Gertrude. Wow, people are popping in here. Y'all bored on a Monday night, huh? Hello, Yolanda. Welcome. Damn, y'all bored on Monday? Y'all been writing your questions down? It's been a minute since I did a live. I have had a very eventful last couple weeks. Is that really loud? Is that a little better? It is Monday. Hello, Amanda. No, puppy. You're going to knock it. Lay down. See, this is why I do this shit in my other room. The dogs are just fucking nuts. They fuck with all my shit. Oh, Tugawaka is watching a documentary on child murders. That sounds like fun. You need to watch that movie. That movie I posted last night. All y'all who ain't seen it, and now I'm behind, I guess. I never heard of this movie, but it was made in 1991. And it's called Daughters of the Dust. If y'all ain't seen that movie, go watch that fucking movie. Highly recommend it. Very, very, very good fucking movie. Spanish. But see, you should be really good at that. I do what I want. You're supposed to be like getting out of that I do what I want fucking phase, girl. I already had to smack you the other day. Just saying. So, who has questions? Oh, y'all, I finally made the fucking dream pillows that I said I was gonna make. I made 4, and it took me like 4 damn hours to make 4 pillows. And there is one left, y'all. They flew out. Like, they're gone. I put them up in the shop like a week ago. I got one left. So, if anybody wants the dream pillow, you better grab it, because there's only one left. I'm just saying. Hey, Dave Kim. Puppy, go. Where is my squirt bottle? Hold up, y'all. Everybody is bugging me. Leave me alone and let me do my thing here, please. Thank you. I'm looking fly today in my pajamas. Y'all are weird. Not y'all are weird. You're weird. But we know that, don't we? Okay, wow, 10 people already. We've only been here 3 minutes. Who has questions? Have y'all been writing your questions down? Well, thank you, Lydia. I'm actually going Sunday to get this one finished. It's almost done. 3rd session, it will be done. Yeah, we know you don't get out much. Hey, Ancient Vision, I ain't seen you in a while. Yeah, this one's going to be finished Sunday. Just some more shading, and then there's like a whole background that's going behind this guy, so. Then I got like this piece to do up here. I got another piece to do down here. Almost done with the tattoo. As soon as this sleeve's done, I am done with the tattoos. I swear to God. I might have my fingers crossed. Okay, what is up, y'all? This has been an eventful fucking 2 weeks, man. We have fucking upgraded over here, like, big time. I did some shit under guidance from my padrino, and we did some major upgrading over here, and I was informed by Spirit and by my padrino. Sorry guys, we're trying to fix this thing. It's about to fall off. Okay. All the prices for work have just gone up because this upgrade was major. And my spirits were like, we're not doing, we're not even taking small work anymore. Like everything went upgraded. That's kind of the point. And I was kind of hesitant. I was like, oh my God, should I even do this? Because it was a little freaky, a little scary. Like I was a little iffy about it. All my people was like, do this shit. So I was like, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not going to argue with my spirits, right? So I'm like, fuck it. Y'all are saying I'm cool. This is cool. You're telling me to go for it. I fucking went for it. It was intense. Let me just say, my house has not cooled down yet. I haven't had my heat on. It's been in the evenings, somewhere between the 50s and 40s, give or take. Every night, and my house is at a consistent 74 fucking degrees, even with windows and doors open. It has not cooled down yet since I did this shit. It's fucking hot, y'all. Yeah, we did some major shit. So that's why I have not been around in a while. Upgrading. Nobody's talking. Anybody have questions? This is my time. This is my time. Is that music like too loud? Can y'all hear me okay? Nobody has questions? Bored on a Monday night? Are y'all not writing your questions down? Anybody? This is my time. Come on. Come on. I wish I could fill the time with storytelling, but I can't even talk about half the shit I do, so... I can't. What am I supposed to talk about? I don't have any stories this week. Let's talk about, okay, since I'm just going to talk and I have questions, which is what the whole point of this is, let's fucking talk about, Let's talk about some fucking bullshit that's been going on this week. Wait, we may have a question. Friend's 20-year-old son hung himself Sunday night. Oh my God. My friend had to cut him down. What do you suggest to help to comfort and... That's some heavy shit right there. I'm sorry. No, first off, I'm sorry for your loss. Wow, that's some heavy shit. So, I mean, what can you do to help ease him? I mean, nothing you're going to do right now is probably going to help at all, because time, right? You got to have time to digest and, like, go through the emotions and dealing with something like that happening. Maybe, like, after the funeral and after things have calmed down a bit, I mean, we can do just prayers is what I would, suggest. Like, just do a white candle vigil and just do some prayers for healing and comfort and sound, stable minds and clarity and, all that kind of some heavy shit. But time is what's really going to help. Really going to help. If a little bit of time goes by and it's not helping, I have a kitty. If a little bit of time goes by and it's not helping. And you might want to step it up with like some work, and probably counseling would be highly recommended, some therapy or something like that. And now my cat's not going to leave me alone. Y'all, I can't. What is with these animals? What is with these animals? This is Papa? This is Papa the Grape Pilgrim. He's evil. He's an evil monkey. Look at his face. You see how evil he is? He is evil incarnate. He's my favorite kitty. Alright, buddy. Come on, it's not cuddle time. You're distracting me. These animals are like on my butt tonight. Whoa, hold up. I missed a lot of stuff here. Apparently y'all did have questions, and everybody gonna type it at the same time. Love the garden videos. Do you plant the same every year? So I feel pressured with my question. What? You're back. Come on. Who said that? Amanda, I have actually moved into a new house this last October. So all those videos were done at my old house, and I'm starting fresh down here with a brand new setup, a brand new garden. I actually built the first one yesterday, which is the front yard. I put a big, garden box against the house in the front yard, but that's just going to be for like, flowers and shrubbery and, pretty stuff for the front of the house. The garden is going to be rebuilt in the backyard. I'm actually building it as a raised garden this time, and I'm going to have separate raised gardens instead of doing a great big flat garden where I got to till it and do it. It's like a lot of work and a lot of upkeep. So I'm just going to do a whole bunch of raised gardens. Um, we actually had a whole shit ton crap of like cinder blocks in our yard because we had some structures that we had removed, and like they were cinder blocks, like tons of them under all these structures. So we've already built like a giant fire pit with the cinder blocks so we can start burning trash. But I'm going to use the remainder of the cinder blocks, and I'm going to build several very large raised garden beds. I have ordered my seeds. They are on their way. Some I brought with me, but I ordered a whole bunch of new stuff because now I'm in a tropical climate. So I can grow a lot more different things than I used to be able to grow up north. So to answer your question, do I do the same things every year? I do consistently plant a lot of the same things. Sometimes, I try to try some new stuff. But as far as food goes, our palates don't really change that much. So, number one tip for gardening, don't grow food that you don't eat. All right, good common sense tip. But a lot of people just be like, they just be growing shit and then they don't eat it and it's a waste. So our palate doesn't change that much. So as far as the food garden goes, it's probably going to be pretty consistent year after year. I might try one or two, like maybe small little different things or something. I am planting a whole bunch of new herbs this year because I'm in a southern climate. So I'm going to try growing high john roots, galangal roots, masterwort, master roots. I'm going to try growing different herbs that I couldn't grow up north. That's the only thing that's really going to be different. And then those will be used in my work, and I will probably offer them in the store if they do, if I have a nice abundant harvest of them. Sorry, that was a long, drawn out fucking thing on the garden. Made a poem, would I like to hear it? You can PM it to me on the page, Charles, but right now I'm like kind of answering questions. It's not really poetry hour, but I love poetry. I appreciate it. I do appreciate poetry. I'm a big fan. So if you want to PM it to me on the page, I will definitely read that shit. You have said in other videos not everyone should do magic. I was wondering if you could talk more about that. Do you say that because not everyone has a connection to spirit or ancestors? So everybody has ancestors. Now, a lot, some people's connection to their ancestors is a lot stronger than other people's, but that can always be built upon, right? Ancestor connection can always be venerated, elevated, and strengthened, all that. Same with spirit. You're talking about spirit communication. Now, some people are more gifted communicating with spirits than others, but there's ways around that. You can learn divination systems, and a lot of spirit communication comes with training. Some people, it comes very natural. Some people, it comes with training. When I talk about people who shouldn't be doing this kind of work, this kind of stuff, I'm talking about, actually, if you watch the video, I kind of went through bullet points of people who shouldn't be doing any kind of, work, witchcraft, anything like that. So, like, the number one would be people with mental health issues that are mentally unstable, right? Because in what we do, we have to be very balanced. We have to be very clear-headed, clear-thinking. So people with, mental disabilities should probably steer clear of doing witchcraft or magic themselves. Now, that doesn't mean they can't have someone else do it for them. But personally, if you're unbalanced, if you're not clear thinking, then your work is not going to ever work right. Right, so that's like number one person who probably shouldn't be doing this stuff. Number two is the fad groupie people that don't take it seriously. They're just doing it right now because it's like the hip, cool, new, trendy thing to fucking do. Either that or they're running away from Christianity, or, you know, that's a big thing. A lot of people run to witchcraft or Wicca or paganism or whatever they're doing because they're running from Christianity and don't know where else to go. So like these fad, trendy, you know, jumping on the bandwagon kind of people are probably the people that definitely should not be doing this kind of stuff. I'm a big firm believer that real witches are very far and few between. Now I'm talking witches. I'm not talking spiritualists or anything like that. That stuff can be built upon. And there are many people that are in tune, spiritualists, mediums, all that stuff that don't do witchcraft, right? They just, you know, work with spirits. These are different things. So when I say people who shouldn't do this, I'm specifically talking about people who should not be doing witchcraft, root work, you know, any of that kind of practitioner kind of stuff. Here's a question. I never do a protection circle of any kind whatsoever because I feel that it is already acknowledged fear and giving it power. If I want to cast a spell, I just jump right into it. So yeah, that's fine. I don't do any kind of circle casting either. Now, as a protection, like I don't do like a circle casting like this and that. What I do is before I go to spirit or I do any kind of work, I cleanse. I cleanse myself, I cleanse my house, all that kind of stuff. My house is always protected. I am always protected because I got some powerful spirits backing me. I've received a lot of things through my tradition. So as far as protection, sometimes depending on what I'm doing, what I'm working with, I'll throw extra protection on. But as far as, you know, doing work and stuff like that, I don't do any kind of protection, but I do cleanse. Before and sometimes after, depending on what I'm doing. When I do readings for you guys, I always have to cleanse before I do the readings, and sometimes if y'all got some nasty caca on your asses, I gotta cleanse after I do your reading too. Like, I gotta take a shower before and a shower after. So, the casting of the circle and, you know, these kinds of things, I don't do like ritualistic magic like that, casting the circles, calling the corners, you know, all this kind of, that's not what I do. I do primitive root work and conjure, and I do my traditions, you know, practices. So I don't do any of that high magic stuff, but always cleanse before or after, because you don't want to bring anything, you know, any caca you got on you, you don't want to bring that into what you're doing. So you want to always make sure you're starting clean when you're going to start doing something. Clean yourself, clean your space, clean your house, all that. Is that okay? Because I never encounter anything cool. I have been giving him my time and want to do more. Yeah, time is what's really going to be necessary there. How can I stop mice eating my food offerings of spirit? Should I even be concerned about it? So, I actually had a mouse problem at the old house. Get a cat? If you don't already have one. Mice are really not keen on coming into a house or a space that has cats. Even dogs. My dogs kill more mice than my cats do sometimes. If you can get a pet, like a cat, something that can kill the mice, get them. Other than that, I don't consider it a big deal. I mean, that's nature. That's natural. Just like, you know, when we dispose of offerings, we do them in nature, so the critters, and it can feed the land and the critters and like whatever wants to eat the offerings that we're putting out. But sometimes the mice would really mess with my stuff. Because I had the issue in the basement, right? Not really upstairs, but they were in the basement and they would eat all my offerings and get in all my stuff. They would knock my stuff over. They were actually stealing my bones too. Like they ran off with a bird skull I had down there. Like they were really getting annoying. So I just wound up, you know, I would get some of them sticky glue traps and I put them all around, you know, my offerings. They even liked eating my flowers or something. Like, they would seriously chew the fuck out the flowers. They got into all my shit down in the basement. So I just put sticky traps. Just, you know, I just circled my food offering, my flowers, whatever I was putting down there. I just put sticky traps, you know, all around the shit. The mice got smart. They learned how to move the traps. Hopefully your mice are dumb. But yeah, that's what I do. And then, you know, if I caught some live ones, I give them, I have like 2 spirits that love mice, actually 3, that love mice. So, you know, if I caught some live ones or something like that, I'd toss them to my spirits that like to eat mice. So. Oh, ancient visions, be sure taking care of yourself and clan, right? Yeah, there's not, I mean, time is what's going to be needed. Probably therapy and counseling, and prayer. Prayer is what I'd highly recommend. I don't know, you know, maybe later on down the line you could try like a head working or something if they're really not dealing with it very well. But right now I would give it time and just see how it's going to, you know, balance itself out. Self-care has been an issue this past week. Finally onto it. We always neglect ourselves. Have you ever had a spirit fall in love with you? No. Not that I know. Actually, fall in love with me? No, I wouldn't say that. But I am very aware that I am highly attractive to spirits. And I'm not saying like they try to have sex with me or something. I'm just saying they're very attracted to me because, like, I don't know. I don't even know why. I don't know if it's like my energy, if it's like a light, like a beacon, if it's like the fact that they know I can communicate with them, or like, I don't know why they're so attracted to me, but they are. But not in a love relationship, sexual kind of way. But I did actually have an experience with a friend of mine that a spirit did fall in love with my friend. Now, that wasn't me personally, but it did happen to my friend. So it's possible. It can happen. It just hasn't happened to me personally. Free 2-hour grocery delivery. Now with Prime. Jeez, what the heck? I'm sorry for the manners. Thank you for answering my questions. And, well, got stuck on the spirit love triangle. Was waiting. Did I miss something? Dealing with something now that is very romantically inclined. I think you mentioned that to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did mention that to me. I don't know what to tell you, girl. Like, I have no experience with that. If it's not something that, like, you want happening or going on, protection, cleansing, get your ancestors, get your people around you and be like, get this motherfucker out my fucking space, you know what I mean? But I haven't experienced that. Lucky you two. Marlene! Oh my lord. You're terrible. It beats Tinder. Hey, you wanted a relationship. Oh my god. So I sent you all that love shit. Like, what if it? Were you specific? I sent to Kawaka some love spell soap and some true love oil. And now she got a fucking spirit like humping her ass. Oh my god, my face is turning red. Oh my god, I'm hot. Girl, were you specific? Like, were you just like, bring me love, or were you like specific, like a living person? Oh my god, I'm crying. Oh my god. Girl, were you specific when you did that shit? I cannot stress this enough, y'all. You must be specific when you're doing work. extremely specific. And I have used this analogy so many times, but I actually had a client the other day in my inbox telling me they did a money, kind of thing with some of my stuff, and like the next day they wound up getting in a really bad car accident, and now they're getting a huge settlement, of money, but they're, fucked up. They got in a car accident. So always be specific when you're doing when you're doing work. I can't stress this shit enough. And I've actually used that exact same analogy before. I've never seen it happen to someone. Actually, I've heard it happen, but I've never experienced it. But yeah, someone actually did money work, had a car accident, and now they're getting money. Like you you really gotta be specific when you're doing stuff. If you're doing money work, be like, hey, I want this in a way that it doesn't cause harm to me or anybody else. Like, if you're doing love work, you have to be pretty specific on what kind of love you're wanting to draw in. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. Does marriage to the spirits play a role in your tradition? No, it doesn't. And look at me, technically being crowned to an Orisha technically it's a marriage, but not, tradition-wise, it's technically that's what it is, but that's not really what people call it or consider it. Like, they're not like, I'm married to Shango, like, they're not, that's not a thing. But in the wording of the tradition, technically when you're crowned, it is like you're married to a particular Orisha, but it's not, I don't know how to explain it. That's not what it is. That's just kind of the way they put it in the tradition, but it's not like, people don't go around and be like, I'm married to the spirit, they don't do that. Yo, y'all are cracking me up. No, you wasn't. Shit. Oh my God, girl. No. You're killing me. You're killing me. Oh my God. Girl, you should know better than anybody. You gotta be specific. Look at my face is turning all red. I'm getting hot as fuck, yo. Oh my God. Okay. This silly thought, can a spirit in your court or a spirit you worked with in a spell be attracted to you? What is up with you guys? Is it Valentine's Day? Yo, Valentine's Day is Friday. Everybody's doing this relationship romantic. I had like so many love clients in my inbox this morning. Is it possible? Can a spirit in your... I don't think a spirit in your court would be like romantically attracted to you. A lot of your court's made up of ancestors. I mean, there's other spirits. I've never heard of it. I mean, if there is a spirit attraction, it's usually like some rando spirit. It's not someone in your court, or a spirit that's like close to you and your shit. It's usually like some rando spirit that, seen you from far away and was like, oh, pretty. I've never experienced it. Is it possible? I'm not going to say it's impossible. It could happen. I've just never experienced it. Mount the spiritual. Didn't think I needed to be that specific. Well, now you know. You need to be specific, and if you wanted a specific gender, I hope you added that too. I don't know, what you're interested in. I know you like guys. I don't know if you like anything else, but if you, wanted a specific gender, you have to state that. Specific. Now you got some rando hornball spirit up on your shit. Can't tell you how weird shit has gotten over here, girl. Yeah. You guys, you both need to DM me. We need to get a three-way going. Hey, Aston McGuire. Haven't seen you in a while. Marriage to spirits of the dead is or was a thing in Chinese folk traditions. My Nana used to tell me stories about them, and that stuff is good. That's interesting. See, I learned all this, like, Asian, like, folk magic shit from you, Dave. Kim, like, I stuff I'm not even aware of. I've never heard that. That's really interesting. Do you advise we doing work at nighttime because of the likelihood of attracting lower entities? Is this something you take into account when you do working? So, I've explained this in previous videos. It's not that lower level spirits are more active at nighttime. That's not even the thing. It's that spirits in general, all spirits across the board, are more active at nighttime because spirit plane and human plane, right? They're like this. They're polar opposites, right? So if it's noontime here in people world, in dead world, it's midnight, right? So they're sleepy in the daytime because that's their nighttime. So our nighttime is their daytime when they're the most active. So it's not, lower level entities are more active at night. You're going to attract them. All spirits are more active at night. I'm not saying they're not active at all during the day. That's not what I'm saying. They're just a little more sluggish. They're not as awake and active and aware, but they're still there during the daytime. They can be active. They're just more active at nighttime because that's their daytime. He is all the things I asked for. I didn't think I would have to specify being alive. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, now we know. And knowing is half the battle. Girl. Especially you. You're like a spirit. You're like me. You're like a spirit beacon. Like, you gotta be specific. Holy shit. Have you spoken to a particular elder about this issue? You know which one I'm talking about. It starts with an E. Have you talked to him? And told him what's going on with this? Because, oh my god, girl. Oh my fucking god. Because now you've, like, opened the love floodgate, Like, how are you gonna close that shit? Love work, y'all. Love work. I'm telling you. I need to do work on my boyfriend. I'm jealous. How do you know for sure they're mostly active at night? Because that's the way it works. How do I know for sure? Because I've experienced it. This is what I've been taught through my elders, through my traditions. That's just the way, it's like the universal thing, right? So that's just the way it works. And like I said, I'm not saying they're not there during the day and they're not active during the day. I'm just saying they are more active at night because the time, right? Like I said, noon, our noon is their midnight. Their midnight is our noon. It's opposite way. What do they call it? The upside down? The upside down. Spirit world is the upside down, right? So it's like a mirror reflection of our world. Like the opposite. So like, literally when we say our spirits walk with us, right? So let's say this is land. This is people world. This is spirit world. Okay, people world on top, spirit world on the bottom. This is the line separating the two. If you're walking on the land, you literally have your spirits underneath you walking right along with you with your footsteps. Shadow, right? Can't get rid of your shadow. Everyone's losing their shit. Tukawaga. Completely forgot about Valentine's Day. Yeah, I did too until all this love shit started popping up, and you know my clients and in my inbox, and all these people are buying a lot of love products. I'm like, oh yeah, it's fucking Valentine's Day. I've been married too long. I've been with my husband too fucking long. We don't even do that shit. We don't even get each other cards, or like we go to eat. We have a nice dinner or something we'll both fucking enjoy, and we go home. Like that's Valentine's Day. Which reminds me, I haven't said this in a while. I've said it in the past, but let me say it again just to refresh everybody. If a worker doesn't have what you want, don't have that worker do work for you. Common sense. So if the worker is po and broke all the time, don't let them do money work for you because they can't get it for them. They can't get it for you. If your worker is single as fuck, been single as fuck for 15, 16 fucking years, can't get a fucking partner to save their damn life, don't buy their come to me candles and let them do work for you because they can't get a partner for themselves. How are they going to get one for you? This is just common sense. I haven't said it in a while. I've seen some fuckery going online this week. Just thought I'd put it out there and refresh everybody. Never thought of it that way. So neat. I like that. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole basis of African cosmology, right? The Dikanga and the cosmology. That's the Dikanga. The upside down. Would it be a good time to start a batch of love oil? I guess. Just as good as any other time. I don't know if it would be a better time than any other time. Like, was it? Was it full moon tonight? Either full moon tonight or it's full moon last night and Valentine's Day this weekend. Yeah, why not start some love oil? Hey, I know you're not sitting there chewing on that package that I'm mailing tomorrow. Dog. Does that make nighttime the best for spiritual work, or is it a matter of preference? Thank you. I would personally, from my experience, I would say it's better to do work at night than during the day. But there is a but. Some things are better to be done during the day. But it's not necessarily working with spirit. If you're like literally just working with spirits, I would say do it at nighttime. That's my experience. There are other things like cleansings, protections, baths, certain things that are better to be done during the daytime, and certain times of the day specifically, like even sunrise, you know, in the morning, and like there's specific baths that are better to be done at different times. But specifically working with spirits, yeah, I would say nighttime because they're more active at night. They're awake. They're awake. They're more active. They're doing shit, right? They're not sluggish and sleepy like they are during the day. Tugawaka, you are cracking everybody up. I seen some love magic. Yeah, you showed me that. That was some crazy shit. I'm not complaining. Fairly open-minded until it goes weird. So that's not weird. Okay, so that's not weird. Like from there, it has to go weird. She's killing me. It's like, this isn't weird, but, you know, if it goes weird from that point, but this isn't weird. Oh my God, girlfriend, you are killing me. I remember a while back you talking about soil dirt from a place where money is stored like a bank. If I secretly steal some dirt at the local bank in town, put it in a tiny necklace jar, would that work? Okay, so I've covered this before, but let's go over jars again. So a jar is a container spell, which is meant to contain things. Keep them locked in, contained, trapped, right? So for the life of me, I don't know where everyone got this notion of doing money, love, road opening, all these things that people are doing in jars. Like, where did this come from? A jar contains it, it traps it, it keeps it locked up, right? If you're doing money work, you want it open, you want it free, flowing and moving and like a river, you know, liquid assets, moving, open, bringing, attracting. You don't want it locked up, trapped up, sealed in a container, locked away somewhere. So putting bank dirt in a jar and thinking that's going to work really well, I'd say no. If I'm doing money work, it's something open, right? And it usually contains fire, because fire gets things moving. Fire turns things into smoke and air, and it just energizes everything. It gets things moving. Water does the same thing. Water is really good for money work as well. But so bank dirt, you could use that on a money work, like a candle, something like that. But I would not put it in a jar. Jar work is very specific for very specific things. It's not for everything. It's kind of across the board fucking thing. I guess containers are good for containing, trapping, concealing, you know, condensing things. Not what you want for money, love, road opening. I mean, the very opening is in the word. Opening means not sealed up, not closed with a lid on it, right? Open. So yeah, I these money, I don't know. It maybe if you didn't put a lid on it, like I guess I've seen some people doing money pots, where it's just like I don't know, like a little porcelain urn pot thing, and they do their money shit but it's open, right? It doesn't have a lid on it. It's not sealed up and contained. So I can maybe see that. What? Oh, and stealing dirt from the bank, we pay for our dirt. We pay for our dirt. We don't steal it. I don't mean you go give the bank some money for your dirt. I mean you put something in the hole. That you dig the dirt up and you put an offering in the hole. You pay for the dirt. You don't steal it. What if the worker just doesn't want a partner? Maybe they can still do love work? Maybe, I don't know. Like, I'm saying, if somebody doesn't have what you want, don't let them do that work for you. I'm just saying. If I was wanted to go to a worker for love work, I'd be going to someone who had a long-term marriage, a long-term relationship, whose shit was successful, and they weren't fighting all the time, and it wasn't rocky and, you know, stable. That's the person I would want doing my love work. If I was going to a worker for money work, I would want someone who obviously had a lot of money, who was successful, who had all these things that I wanted, because if they have it, they can give that to me. They can provide it because they provided it for themselves. If that makes sense. Oh, been a while since I've been able to catch a live, and I just needed a distraction from writing my lab report. When and for what is the next community light thing? So the next service will be Saturday, the day after Valentine's Day, so that's the 15th. And it is the healing and general blessings service this Saturday. Kugawaka said that's just not weird enough to be considered weird. She's like, if it gets weird. If it gets weird. Girl, you're killing me. You're killing me. That makes sense now. Thank you. Okay. I'm making sense to people. Good. It's like some people don't get it, and then whoo, you know, it goes over their heads. I try to explain things as plainly as I can with, but you know, sometimes the information just doesn't, you know, we can't grab it. Usually later on down the line, a light bulb will go off and you'll finally get it. In the case of blood work, where would you put the remains of herbs after the candle work and the petition if not in a jar? So if you're drawing love to you, you want to bury it by your front door, under your porch, or at least in the front yard somewhere on your property so it's coming through the door, right? You want it coming in. So by the front door, under the porch, by the front door, front yard. Keep it on the property because it's something you're drawing in, so you want it on the property as close to the front door as possible. Bury it. Oh, see you later, Ancient Visions. People want to stay away from the tainted love. No, I sent her the true love oil, not the tainted love oil. Oh my God, she would have done that. She has some crazy spirit on her ass. Now that could get weird. You guys are killing me. In relation to containment and trapping things in jars, how does that translate to mojo bags? Wouldn't they do the same? No. While a bag is a container, it's like a breathable container, right? So fabric, air moves through it. It's not like a jar. It's not like a can. It's not completely sealed up airtight, right? So the energy, the air, everything is moving through the fabric, right? Because it can breathe. Also, mojo bags are able to be opened. Unlike Gree, mojo bags, you can open them up. So you can always get in there, refresh stuff, feed stuff, you know, whatever you need to do with the mojo. Add stuff, remove stuff, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's like a fabric is breathable. It has holes, it has, you know, air, energy moves in and out and flows. You're welcome, Sty's Oars. That's what I'm calling you. I don't know if that's right, but you're Sty's Oars now. Do the hoodoo gods approve of non-African practitioners? So there aren't hoodoo gods. That's not a thing. People that do hoodoo do it with the Bible and with saints. If you're talking about the ancestors, because hoodoo is an African diaspora folk magic tradition. So if you're talking about hoodoo gods, what I'm going to think you're talking about is the ancestors, right? Because it was brought over through the transatlantic slave trade. Do they approve of non-melanated people doing hoodoo? I haven't seen any disapprove. I'll put it that way. I've never seen any disapprove because, like I said, hoodooists work with the Bible, with Jesus, with Mary, with God, and with saints. So there's, you know, that's not a thing. I could see people's ancestors maybe having an issue with it. If it's done disrespectfully, if it's done appropriating wise, if it's done colonializing wise, if someone's not in it, if they're disregarding the history, if they're disregarding the ancestors, if they're not paying respect and homage to the ancestors where it came from, you know, all that, I could see the ancestors of said people's practitioners having an issue with it. I've never had that issue personally because I don't do that. Do know and understand the ancestors of hoodoo and be respected. That's exactly what I just said. We're on the same wavelength. There are certain people out there who claim to practice hoodoo, that are not practicing hoodoo. You're not hoodooing with all this fancy shit. You're not hoodooing with Orisha. You're not hoodooing with any of that fucking stuff. You're hoodooing with the Bible, saints, God, Jesus, Mary, all that shit. That's fucking hoodoo. Hoodoo is not just African. It isn't just African, but it is, I mean, the big, huge portion of the pie is African. There's a little tiny sliver that's Native American, and there's a little tiny sliver that's Caucasian. But the big, giant portion of the hoodoo pie is African. And southern African at that. Any more questions? I was gonna talk about fuckeria. I made some memes yesterday. And I labeled them Know Your ATRs, right? There's 4 of them. I didn't go through all the ATRs because there's a lot of them, but I went through like the major, right, the major branches and pantheons of African traditional religions. Because I had, I don't even remember what post it was on my page, but I had a girl come on my page, a white girl, and she tried to argue with me that all African traditions were the same thing. That they're all the same thing that just landed on different areas, you know, through the transatlantic slave trade, but it's all the same thing. So you can just mishmash everything, and Orisha, Loa, Nkisi, Minkisi, and Pungo, like these are all the same fucking thing that just landed on different continents. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And this girl was arguing with me till she was fucking blue in the face, and apparently I'm wrong because I'm from Pennsylvania. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but all she kept saying is, "You're wrong, haha, you're from Pennsylvania." Like I don't know why that makes me wrong, but apparently it makes me wrong. I even said to her, I'm like, I am initiated priest in at least one of these traditions. I'm initiated in several others. I think I know what I'm talking about, but you're right because you're not from Pennsylvania and you're, you know, an Alejo that's not initiated in anything. You're right, and I'm totally fucking wrong. So, after this, I decided to make memes. Check them out on my page. They're called Know Your ATRs. And they're very brief, very brief. But basically, I just stated what each one is, what deities they work with. I'm going to use deities as a broad term because that's not really what they are. But what energies, deities they work with, what they are, and where they come from. Because just like anything else, you cannot lump the ATRs together and go, it's the same thing because it's all African. You can't do that. That's like saying um, Protestant, Lutheran, whatever, Luther, Baptists, Christians, Catholics. These are all the same thing. Mormons. It's all the same thing because it came from America and it's white people, you know, mostly doing it. So it's all the same fucking thing. It's tantamount to saying Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are the same thing because they all came from the Middle East. So that's the same fucking shit, just in different places. This is how fucking stupid that shit fucking sounds. So, I took it upon myself. I took an hour or two out of my day and I made the memes called Know Your ATRs. Please, please have a look at that so we don't have any more of this mushmash, palo ofa fuckeria, hobby lobby hoodoo shit coming. And she came on my page and just told me I'm fucking wrong. I am wrong because I'm from Pennsylvania. I don't know. But I'm wrong. If it's all Latin Americas are As if all Latin Americans are the same thing, right? That too. I really appreciated those meme posts. It's hard to keep track of them all, especially as a beginner. Exactly, and even I don't know a whole lot about some of them. I had to Google. Some like I've heard of them, but I wasn't really familiar where they were at and what exactly that tradition was working with. Right? Like I didn't know Quimbanda was actually an Orisha tradition. I didn't know that, but I learned that yesterday. Yeah, even I don't know them all, so I don't expect everybody to know them all. But to think that it's all the same thing just because it's African, that is completely colonialization mindset. Excuse the fucking mishmash and just take whatever you want and steal and appropriate and do whatever the fuck you want because it's all the same fucking thing. What's the matter? Crazy. Hobby Lobby Hoodoo, yeah. Do they still have Powwow pharmacy shops in PA? Not that I'm aware of. I don't even know. I never even heard of a Powwow pharmacy. Now I do know certain Powwowers that had like a general store. All right, so they had some like general stores. Um, I've never heard of a Powwow pharmacy. I really haven't, because I mean, well, Powwow, I mean, it does do a lot with medicine, end quote. Um, it's not medicine that you're really gonna find at a pharmacy or that people would sell at a pharmacy. I've actually never heard of that. If that's a thing, I don't know. I have to look it up. But I am well aware that some Powwowers owned like general stores where they kind of like served their clients. They also like sold some goods from their farms and like what the fuck ever. But it wasn't like pharmacy. Who's talking? I'm at the end of the chat. Look how gray I'm getting, y'all. I am so fucking gray. Look at all that. That's all fucking gray. Luna is getting old. Luna is getting old. I'm telling you. And we traumatized. We traumatized our little handyman. That was some funny shit. He just happened to be here the night this big upgrade was going down. So he had the privilege of riding with me out to, BFE and getting a whole bunch of animals. And actually, he's funny. He's a funny guy. He's kind of like sort of homeless, like he just kind of stays at friends' houses. He was staying at the shelter at one point. So a lot of times he just comes over here and just hangs out because he doesn't really have anywhere to go, and we feed him, and like give him some money here or there because he does some handyman stuff around the house. Like he installed a lamp and he helped us clean up the yard a little bit the other day. And so like we make sure he has food, we feed him, and give him a couple bucks, cigarettes or whatever he needs. Um, he came over the other day. And he came in and he sat down and he was like, I guess he was having a rough week, and he sat down on the couch and he was like, he's like, I don't know what it is, but every time I come in this house, he's like, I could have all these worries and, have a really bad day and all these worries weighing me down. He's like, but I walk in this door, he was like, and it like lifts from me. He's like, it's gone. He's like, I just, I feel so comfortable and relaxed here. And I was like, yeah, because I was like, you see all this shit on my door? I was like, you can't come in my house carrying all that baggage. It's gonna, you might pick it up when you walk out the door, but it's gonna stay at the door. You're not bringing it inside the house. It's gonna stop it. You're not coming in here with any of that negative, bogged down shit. So he thought that was really cool. And then he went with us to get the animals and stuff. So, I knew the shit was going down and I knew he wasn't going to leave. Because, like, he just hangs out because he doesn't have anywhere to go. So, I asked Spirit. I was like, is it cool if he fucking, hangs out, sits in the back, in the corner and just, hangs out or whatever? And he was like, sure. So I was like, okay. So I told him, I was like, you can hang out, and he sat there, in the corner, watched everything go down, everything. And then since he, is always hungry because he doesn't really, have a place to live or anything, I told him, I'm like, yo, you want to learn how to clean some, chickens and stuff? I'll teach you how to do it. And I said, whatever you clean, you get to keep. You take it home and that'll feed you for a week or two. It's a whole fucking bird, right? So after everything was over, I got all the buckets out, and all three of us sat down and we cleaned all these chickens. And I sent him home with a couple of them. And I was like, that'll feed his ass for a couple weeks. And a lot of people don't understand that that's blessings, right? When you feed spirit, and then you feed the community or other people with those animals, those are blessings that you're bestowing upon people. That's blessings. So I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a minute. Hopefully, he's having a lot better week than he was having last week because he's eating good and he's having them blessings. So I was able to catch up with him the other day. It was just a funny story. Anyway, didn't you used to smoke a pipe? I did. I did. I still got my pipes in there. But I'm totally trying to get off the tobacco. So I quit the cigarettes about a month ago. So I'm just doing this. My husband even quit smoking. He quit smoking cigars. He quit smoking cigarettes. He quit smoking everything. I got him one of these, and we're both doing a thing and not smoking, and we're both feeling a lot better and healthier. So once in a while I pick the pipe up. It's usually when one of my spirit, I have a very particular spirit that enjoys the pipe. So sometimes if he's around very strongly or he requests it, I'll pick the pipe up and we'll smoke some pipe. But and it's usually cigars because everybody likes cigars. Saw a documentary and they talked about the Powwow pharmacy shops where you can buy herbs and stuff for spells and health and various things. So, man, can you send me like a link to that documentary? Because I have never heard of this. I mean, Powwow doesn't really do like spell work. I mean, I guess we kind of do, but it's not. It's not spell work of what y'all think spell work is. It's not, a bunch of herbs and candles and jars and like any. That's not powwow. I mean, we use herbs, but it's if we're using herbs, it's not for spell work. It's to make medicine out of, right? So powwow, it's majorly focused on healing. So there's a lot of salves, tars, plasters, all kinds of remedies that are made for physical healing and stuff, and that's backed up with faith healing of the powwower. So the power would make the salve, the tar, the plaster, whatever, and then they would give it to the client and they would apply it and then they would do like the faith healing on top of it. So it's not, you don't really do spell work and powwow with herbs and that kind of stuff. So I'm really curious what this documentary is because that's really a strange concept to me. And if a power, real power, if we're using herbs for something, we usually go get them ourselves. Because powwow is very particular. Things have to be collected very precisely from very specific places, directions, times, all kinds of stuff. Like there was one, like for a toothache. For a toothache, you're gonna go out at like, I think it was dawn, or it was right before dawn, and you're going to pluck a branch off a, was it a birch tree? You take the branch on the east side off the birch tree where the sun is coming up. Like it's very specific, like things that you have to collect and do yourself. That's just an example, and it's probably incorrect because I haven't really done that one. But I do have it in my books. One of my, through my learning passed down and stuff. I've written all that stuff down, but it's not something I've personally used, so I'm not 100% familiar with it, but I remember it's something like that. And a lot of powwow is like that. It's very specific. Times, places, directions, everything has to be collected and done. So I really can't see a pharmacy selling ingredients for powwow stuff, if that makes sense. Please, if you have a link for this documentary, send it to my inbox, because I'd really like to watch that. Did the Handyman? Not yet. I haven't seen him yet. I'm worried we scared him off. I actually texted him yesterday. I'm like, yo, you want to come over and work on the bathtub? And he never answered me. I don't know. But his phone gets shut off all the time too, because he doesn't have any money. So maybe his phone's shut off. I don't know what's going on, but I haven't seen him. In a couple days. It's been raining every day too, though. What do you think is the best protection from evil eye? So that's like an evil eye pendant is their traditional thing that you use for protection from evil eye, which is the big blue glass eye, right? I send one out in every second order client. Every time you place a second order in the shop, you're getting an evil eye ring. But there's all kinds of them. Pendants, rings, bracelets, earrings. They make great big ones that you can hang in your window or on your front door or something to keep. But that's like the typical, most used protection from the evil eye. That's like specifically what it's for. If I can find it again, it was on Amazon Prime documentary. I forget what it was called. Please find it and send me a link to it. I really want to watch this documentary. The only documentary I've seen on Powwow is the Hex Hollow murder. Now I got the hiccups. The Hex Hollow murders. I do got the hiccups. What the fuck? This is an excellent song. Yeah, the only Powwow documentary I've actually seen is the one on the Hex Hollow murders. Yeah, if you can find that, please send me a link. I'd be very interested in watching that. Oh, have a good class, Dave Kim. We'll see you later, Dave Kim. Every time I say your name, I think of the Goldbergs TV show. The kid on the show named Dave Kim. Any more questions? And you go lay down. Thank you. Yeah, Powwow Pharmacy. That's a new one, mate. That's a new one, mate. And my great. That was another thing. I don't know what has happened. You know what happened? I think I talked about on the last live. I had a reading, from my padrino, and, he was warning me that there was, like, a lot of enemies kind of popping out here and there, and I'm like, what the fuck, enemies? So I went to my spirits, and, I was like, well, if there's all these enemies, let's let them reveal themselves. Let's see these enemies, let them not remain hidden anymore. Let them show themselves. And they, oh my god, these people started coming out the fucking woodwork. Like, they're just popping out all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? Like, ask and you shall receive, right? I had someone, so I had a really good review on my grandpappy's mending salve that I make. It was passed to me from my grandpappy, which is my great-grandfather. No, not great-grandfather, not great-grandfather. So I posted the review, on my Instagram, my page, and like got a really good view on the mending salve, and somebody commented that I was full of shit are a fraud or something because white people don't have grandpappies. And she was like, that's such a joke. White people don't have grandpappies. I'm like, well, you know, my pappy would be very upset to know that white people don't have grandpappies, apparently. I was like, what is this? What is this? Like, literally, he was my pappy. He was pappy. That's what I call him. He was my great grandpappy, not my grandfather. I call him Gramps. And then I had Pappy, who's my grandpappy. And then I have a pawpaw, too. This was just my dad's dad's pawpaw. I'm like, white people don't have grandpappies, so I'm fake. I don't know, but I know my grandpappy would be very upset to learn this. Apparently he doesn't exist. Like, where, what, how, what? I don't know, but ask and you shall receive. Like, these people are just popping out, and I get a chance to block. Block buttons getting worked out. Like, goddamn, when they was saying, like, you got enemies all over the place, I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't fucking see any damn enemies, you know? Shit. They popping out everywhere. What the hell? Are there books you swear by for spiritual growth and general spiritual knowledge, especially for newbies? Thanks so much. God, I need to do this. Man, y'all ask for books. I've gone over books so many times. I need to sit down one of these days and just do a whole video on book recommendations so I don't have to keep doing this on like every single live. For spiritual, I think you asked for spiritual development. Spiritual knowledge. I think you have to be a little more specific. A little more specific. What do you mean by spiritual knowledge? Because if you're talking about, root work, conjure, folkmagic, that kind of stuff, I always recommend Root, Stones, Sticks, and Bones. The name of the author just is not in my brain right now, but it's the book called Roots, Stones, Sticks, and Bones. Very good book on Southern root work and conjure. There's another one, The Magical Power of the Saints, which is great if you're going to go down the Hoodoo path. It's a very good book. The author is Reverend somebody. It's written by a Reverend somebody. Spiritual development. No. I don't know any books on spiritual development that I can, not generally speaking, anyways. I would recommend reading books on a spiritismo. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one to like name. Be like, this is a good book. No. But the general topic of a spiritismo, because that's all about spiritual development. And fuck the books. Owen Craig Ballard has a course going on. Actually, I think it started tonight. About working with spirit and spiritismo. He's also doing one called Dreaming in the Depths, which is spirit communication and the dreams and all this kind of stuff. Owen Craig Ballard, Professor Owen Craig Ballard. He is an elder in several African traditions, and he's also a professor at some college, I don't remember the name, in Florida on African, not traditions, I don't know what I'm fucking looking for, but something African. He teaches at the college in Florida. He is a professor, and he's also an elder. He's actually initiated in some traditions, so I recommend his courses. They're very good. Also, his wife is kind of battling breast cancer, so he's kind of doing the courses to supplement her cancer therapy. So it's like helping, his wife with her cause, and you're getting knowledge, and you're helping, you know, like a charitable cause and like all that kind of stuff. So Professor Owen Craig Ballard, I would highly recommend his courses. On books, they're slipping my mind on spiritual development. If you're not aware of your enemies, would the chicken foot talisman have the sixth sense to protect you against people you're not even aware of that hex you? Can you put it in your pocket or car only? So I wouldn't recommend carrying a chicken foot in your pocket because it has nails on it and they're sharp. Like they are sharp. They got spurs and nails, and you don't want that in your pocket, like scratching your fucking leg and shit. I would not recommend carrying one in your pocket. You can maybe throw one if you're carry a purse. You can maybe throw it in a purse. You can definitely put one in your vehicle. You can put it by your front door. You can put them in a front window. All that kind of stuff for protection. Will they protect against unknown enemies? Yes. Yes. And that's one of the main reasons why I didn't know I had these enemies. I was like, what the fuck you talking? I was completely oblivious because I'm fucking protected. I'm protected. So this enemy shit, whatever they're doing, was not getting through over here. I was oblivious until I asked for them, to reveal themselves, and now they're popping out, and I know who to block and who to get rid of and who to not associate with it. Two of them really fucking surprised me. But I know who to get rid of and who to block, who to part ways with, who to have nothing to do with. And I was actually also kind of informed that with the upgrade that I did this week, let me just say I pity the next person who tries to come over here starting some shit. I really pity them. I really, really do. Because this will now act without my consent. In other words, I don't have to be protect me from my enemies, or, oh, this person did something, no, if someone does something malicious towards me, they are going to act on it without my knowledge, without my demand, without my direction, without my say-so. They will protect me. So I really pity the next person who comes fucking around over here. Yeah, that was a big reason why I wasn't aware that apparently these fucking enemies are, in the cracks everywhere, but nothing's getting through over here. Chicken foot, yes, in the car. Door, windows, don't put it in your pocket. Thank you, gonna get one. Oh, good, thank you. Yeah, they're really good. I use chicken feet for a lot of stuff. They're very good for defense, offense. You can also, fuck someone up with a chicken foot. Little quiz time. Do you know why chicken feet are considered protective? Does anyone know why we use chicken feet for protection? Hope y'all can hear the music a little bit and I don't look like a retard just sitting here dancing to nothing. Because they scratch backwards. There you go. Someone's paying attention. You get a gold star. Someone's paying attention. Yes, I have talked about that in a previous video. Because chickens scratch backwards. Therefore, they are digging things up and removing it. Protection. Chicken foot hanging in the rear view mirror also keeps away the riffraff. I always keep one in my car. Always. Particularly black chicken feet are particularly protective because black is a very protective color because it absorbs everything, right? Black absorbs all light, all colors, everything. Black absorbs it. So black chicken's feet, black chickens are particularly coveted for protection. I had a friend who used an eagle foot. Is that the same idea as a chicken foot? So yes and no. Um, any kind of predator bird foot has talons, right? So eagles, owls, ospreys, hawks. On it, they're predator birds, so they have talons, and they pick, they fly down and they grab shit with their talons and rip it up, right? Um, so protective, yes. Along the same lines as the chicken foot, not so much because predator birds are not really scratching the ground and digging stuff up and moving backwards, and so yes and no. Predator bird feet are protective. They can also snatch things that you want. They're gonna grab that shit, swoop in, grab it. They also have very, very good fucking eyesight. Throwing some gems out here if y'all can read between the lines. Protective, yes. Same as a chicken foot, no, but still protective. Chicken feet are awesome. My dogs say the same thing. They've eaten so many chicken's feet. Do they have to be used in pairs of chicken feet? No. No. You only need one foot. You only need one. Thanks for taking your time to help us. Well, good night, Lydia. I guess it is almost 1 a.m. here in the central United Snakes of America. Y'all probably go work tomorrow, huh? I don't go to work because I don't stop working. I work here non-fucking stop for y'all. I am booked up for readings every day this week into Wednesday of next week. Book solid for readings. Book solid for work. I got shit coming. I got baths to make for clients. I got Magudos. I got Resguardos. I got all kind of stuff going on. I never stop, y'all. I never stop. And the shit is picking up. Since the upgrade, picking up. Picking up. Shit is starting to roll a lot quicker than it was. So get these lives while you can. Get your questions in while you can because they might be getting kind of sparse. Might be getting kind of sparse because shit is really starting to pick up. Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. You must be on the East Coast. It's good shit right here. I think I talked about this on one of my other lives. This is a southern thing. And they call it moaning in the spirit. This song has no lyrics. All it is this guy moaning and humming in the spirit. Oh, it's over. I hope you guys heard it. But that's kind of what I'm talking about when I referred to moaning in the spirit on a previous video. And a lot of root workers, especially in the kitchen, we hum and moan and do all this shit while we're cooking, while we're cleaning, while we're doing all this shit, and that makes a resonation, right? It's resonance with energy and sound and vibration, all that stuff for whatever we're doing. It's really cool. Marlene's on the West Coast, New York. Hey, Jen, taxidermy witch, Blind Willie. You nailed it. Good job. Blind Willie Johnson. Absolutely. Devil's Rejects soundtrack. This one is. I don't think Blind Willie's on the Devil's Rejects soundtrack. Well, look at her up on her fucking music and shit. I bet none of y'all knew the fucking name of this fucking actress. Y'all didn't know who this was. You young heads. Blind Willie's on in Devil's Rejects? I didn't know that. I've been listening to him for a long time. I know this one is on that soundtrack. Alright, anybody got any more questions? I went to the eye doctor to get some new glasses the other day. I got my exam, and I do need new glasses. But I'm waiting for my new insurance to kick in. Since we moved, I had to get different insurance and everything, so gotta wait for that to kick in before I can actually order the new fucking glasses that I'm supposed to get. Any more questions? It's been an hour and a half, and I gotta get up early tomorrow. Anybody got any more questions? You're late, Jen. You are late. I've been on here an hour and a half. We did a lot. We went through a lot of shit. The views are still going up. There's still people in here, and y'all aren't talking. A bunch of fucking boyers. Have a good night, Gertrude. No questions from Eric, huh? Oh my lord, you have a treasure trove of knowledge over here and y'all don't have any questions? As soon as it's over, you'll think of them, and then y'all come in my inbox and be like, can I ask a question? And I'm like, why don't you be on the live asking a damn question? Write this shit down. I'm about to help a friend cleanse her home in preparation for her new baby. Okay. And what's the question? Oh, y'all going to bed? What the hell? Y'all should be up doing your spirit work right now. Is there good candle magic for depression? Well, first off, I'd recommend seeing a therapist, getting medication if it's needed. You can do healing, healing and rejuvenation type candle work, which can help with depression. You can do head workings, usually done like a skull candle. You can work that for clarity, clear thinking, cooling, calming. And then you can add in some like, really nice energetic stuff to kind of calm down the depression, cool that down, and then, add the really nice healthy energy stuff to kind of draw that in to the mind, right to the head. So yeah, there's stuff you can do that can help with depression. I'm not going to say that it's going to fix it 100% because that's some complicated ass, shit that I don't know if fucking candle's going to do it, right? Therapy, medication if you need it, spend a lot of time in nature. I'm not one of these people that's going to be like, oh, you don't need pills. You need to go to nature. It's nature's, medication, prescription, whatever the fuck those shits say. I'm not that kind of people. If you need medication, take it. If you need therapy, go to fucking therapy if it helps. There are candles and work you can do. to help ease depression. How effective they are, they can help. They can help energetically move the energy around, right? So you're going to kind of push away this lower level vibrating, depressive kind of energy and kind of swing it around with some more positive energy, but you specifically want to focus on the head. You want to do a head work. Do you have any recommendations or herbs to put in the wash water? Cleansing the home for a pregnant lady who's preparing for a new baby. Cleansing preparation for a new baby. Let me think. If you're doing a really thorough cleansing, I would do 3 different things. I would cleanse with smoke I'd probably do it for 3 to 5 days. So each day you're going to burn something different. Like the first day, first off, I would start off with camphor to run out any kind of negative, the lower level malicious energy or spirits. Camphor the whole fucking house out. The next day you want to do something more sweet, like basil, bay. You could do copal, white copal. The third day, I would do something like frankincense and myrrh. Right, and then after you do 3 days of smoke cleansing, I would do a sound cleansing. Like go around the house with a bell and just, ring the fuck out of that bell. Go around every fucking room, open up a couple windows, open a door, ring the fuck out that bell. And you're changing the vibration, right? In the air and everything. Take a nice sounding bell and cleanse it with the sound, right? There is sound cleansing. Then, you come in with the floor wash. To cleanse for a newborn baby, I would do rue and hyssop. I would do angelica root, and baby's breath would be a good one. There's some baby's breath in there. Let's see, we want to cleanse, and we also want good sweet. I'd throw some mint in there, maybe some basil, some sweet. So I'm talking about sweet herbs. Thyme would be another good one to throw in there. What else would we use to cleanse and for a baby? That sounds like a pretty good floor wash right there. To cleanse to bring in a new spirit in a body, which would be a baby, into the home. That's a pretty good recipe for a floor wash right there. You are fucking welcome. I have a donation button under my link. There's a link below there for a donation button. Oh, good night, Jen. Can't do any work. I have an unexpected annoyance come out of left field. No wonder I'm tired lately. What the fuck? You're not still talking about your client, are you? The old guy? There are a lot of traditions around birth. The placenta is buried. The name the baby isn't spoken for 9 days. A red cord is tied around the belly. The baby is passed over a grave of an ancestor, etc. Wow. See, Tukawaka has taken these herbal birthing classes and stuff too, so she knows a lot about that stuff. So I think I gave you a really good recipe for a floor wash and other ways to cleanse. No baths for mom after, yeah, that's not good. We don't do baths after birth or during your menstrual cycle either. It's not good to lay in a bathtub full of water. Do showers. Look up Divine is Earth on Facebook. She has a class on Southern Black midwifery tradition. Is that, yeah, I'm saying she took Tugawaca took all these classes on herbalism and natural birthing and like all that kind of stuff. But I think she really just wanted to like cleanse the house to bring the baby in, right? So I think we took care of that. Okay. Any more questions? Great song. Okay, not get too crazy. You just go off on a rant. That's really cool though that you learned all that stuff. I didn't hear it happen. Never heard of half of that shit you just said. Passing the baby over the grave of an ancestor and all that. I never heard that. But I'm not really big on kids, so. Can't find the donation button. Man, maybe it'll be there after the video's over. It should be in the description box. Like, you know, you click the thing and the box drops down. There's a whole bunch of links in it. There's a donation button in that box. It might not be available till after the video's over though. I don't know. Any more questions? I had to cleanse the fuck out of this house when I moved in, y'all. Y'all know that. I had to do the smoke, I had to do sound, I had to do several days of floor wash, like 2 weeks of non-stop cleaning every single damn day when I moved in here. And that was just the inside. I had to do the outside too. You got it. I don't give out exact recipes very often. But that you know, baby, so. We want them starting out right. The Conjure man I learned herbs from also talked about taking babies to the graveyard, which sounded opposite of what I. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Passing a baby over the grave of an ancestor in a graveyard. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be doing that. I really don't. Like maybe that's like an old timey thing that got held over, like way back when ancestors were probably buried in your backyard. Like you had your own little family cemetery, like on your property or, you know, in your backyard and field, a little patch of woods or something. There's all kinds of little private family cemeteries, especially down here in the South. Like I could maybe see that being a thing, because that would just be ancestors in that, you know, little plot or whatever. But nowadays, no, I don't think I'd take a baby to a big, giant public cemetery for any reason whatsoever. I really wouldn't. Hell, fucking adult people who are aware and protected are vulnerable enough, let alone taking a damn baby out there. Babies have no filter. I will find you a write-up coming from real folk, but I don't know. I want the link to this Powwow documentary. I want to know about these Powwow pharmacies, because that's new to me. Well, it's got our shit out in the mountain in the woods. Speaking of, y'all, I gotta learn all this flora and fauna down here down south, man. I'm not familiar with 90% of this fucking plants down here. And now, like, technically, where I'm at in the south, it's technically spring. I mean, it's not officially spring, but down here it's fucking spring. We're in severe weather season. It's being consistently, you know, in the upper 60s and 70s almost every single day. Lots of storms and severe weather coming through. Everything out here is budding and blooming. Trees are budding out. My hyacinths and spring flowers are popping up in the garden already, which I did get planted yesterday, yes, because I made the garden. I I dug up all my bulbs when I moved and I just threw them all in like this big flower pot. No dirt, nothing. I just tossed, dug them up and was just tossed them in this pot. And I went out in the courtyard the other day. I just had, threw the pot back there till I got the garden, made and everything. And man, they were all like sprouting and blooming, just all thrown in this little pot with no dirt. A couple of them even have flowers on. The bluebells have flowers on them and shit. I was like, what the hell? So I finally got the garden bed made yesterday. I got dirt, filled it up, and I got my bulbs planted. And they're sprouting and blooming. Everything's budding down here. So now, not only am I going to be working on doing the gardens pretty much nonstop, as long as it's not raining, which it's doing a lot of, I'm going to be learning all the flora and fauna that's in my local area right here. Now that everything's starting to bud out, I can kind of see what shit is, right? I can see doctrines and signatures and characteristics of what's going on with the plants down here. So I've got one figured out. I have, well, number one, I have holly bushes, which is really fucking cool. Holly is so big in magic and people don't even think about it, right? So in the old days, when, especially in the druidic kind of systems, if you made a wand, a magic wand, right? If you made a wand, it was always made out of the wood of a holly tree. And this is where Hollywood comes from, right? They say the magic of Hollywood. They're working their magic in Hollywood on us on the big screen. Well, that's because Hollywood was made, the wands were made from Hollywood, magic wands. And that's actually where it comes from. So holly is a really awesome plant to have, and I'm actually really excited that I found a couple little holly bushes down here on my property, which is really cool. They're very protective too, because they're sharp as fuck, right? So I love throwing up things in protection. So holly is really cool. So I know I have some holly. I found that. I know I have some magnolia. I have a very big magnolia tree on the corner. I have a whole row of craping myrtle. I need to look up the properties of these trees, and I'm identifying right now. After I identify, I'll go figure out what I can use them for. So I also have some pecan trees, and we know what those are. But I found a whole bunch of bushes on the property with these red berries on them, and they weren't fucking holly. So I'm like, this is really weird. I'm trying to figure out what these fucking bushes with these red berries are that are all over my property. And it turns out they're really not nothing special. It's a plant called, oh my God, is it called nostrum? I think that's what it's called. Nostrum. But it's basically a type of bamboo. It's like an ornamental bamboo, but down here in the south, it's like an invasive species. It's very not wanted. It's very, and I can see why it's invasive, because they're all over the fucking property, right? They're popping. I mean, there's little ones, there's big ones, there's ones that got the berries on them. They're just all over the fucking property. So I've been going around as I'm cleaning up the yard. I'm actually cutting these fucking trees down. I haven't found any use for them in a magical sense. So, and that's another thing, before I clean the yard up too much, I'm waiting for things to bloom and kind of bud out so I can really figure out what plants I'm dealing and what trees I'm dealing with on the property and what I can use and what's really probably not good to have around, right? So I've been cutting out these ornamental bamboo things that are very invasive and they're popping up all their property. But yeah, it's spring. It's spring here, and it's really fucking cool because now I get to learn a whole bunch of new shit. I get to learn a whole bunch of new shit. I also get to try and grow a whole bunch of shit that I didn't get to grow when I was up north. Yes, I'm going to try my hand at growing High John and Conquer. I'm going to try growing galangal root, which is low John. What else was I gonna try? Oh, not Angelica. Thurlwort, Masterwort. Masterwort, I'm gonna try and grow that, which is Master Root. I'm also going to try and grow Thurlwort, which is Abre Camino. There's all kinds of shit I can grow down here now, especially for my traditions. Traditions use a lot of tropical growing kind of fucking herbs and shit that are pretty much only found in the South and Cuba, you know, tropical kind of places. So I'm really excited to see what plants I have on the property and what plants I can find locally, and maybe I can start either sourcing them myself without having to fucking pay for them, or maybe start offering them in the shop, which would be pretty cool. I'm not having a spirit baby, just saying. How the fuck do you know? Were you specific? Yo, fucking with you. Oh, girl, you fucking kill me. I can't wait till you come down here and visit. How hot does it get in the summer there? Where are you located now, Mississippi? Yeah, I'm in Mississippi. It's hot as fuck. You're gonna have fun down here in the summer. Really fucking hot. It's February, beginning of February, and we're already, like I said, consistently getting in the upper 60s and 70s in the summer. You know, it's 110, 115, easy. Then you throw the fucking humidity in with it, and like, when we came down here house hunting, it was mid fucking summer. It was like fucking June. And it was really fucking hot. And when we first got down here to Mississippi, I couldn't breathe. Like, the air it's so fucking thick and humid, it's like you can cut the shit. When we first got here, I couldn't breathe. I was dying. But yeah, you get used to it, which is really weird. Like, after a week of being here, like, it didn't really bother me. And when we were actually looking at houses, my realtor was taking us around looking at these houses, and I swear it was 109 degrees and some shit, and some numbers, you know, plus the humidity. It was hot as fuck. And we were looking at these houses that were mostly empty, right? So that, like, no air, no electric in a lot of them, you know, so you're going in to a closed up stuffy ass, fucking hot ass house in the middle of summer with this humidity. And, you know, some of the houses were going, and we were just dying. Like, me and my husband were dying. I had a hand fan. I'm like walking around everywhere with this hand fan. I couldn't breathe. I was dying. And I look over at my realtor, and he didn't have not a damn bead of sweat on his face, nothing. And I'm just like nothing. And I even commented to him. I was like, yo, like, we are dying, and you're not even sweating. And he's like, oh, you know, I'm born and raised down here. Like, you get fucking used to this shit. And I've already, like, when it started getting a little chilly down here, when winter came, like, people were freaking out. Like, it was like 60, 55, 60, and people were running around with these big puffy winter coats on, and like hats and scarves and gloves. Like, like they were freezing their asses off, and we're walking around, you know, maybe a hoodie or a light jacket. Like, it was not fucking cold because we came from the north, you know. We're used to, like, that's not cold. That's not cold. To them down here, that's cold because they're so used to the fucking heat. But I tell you what, it's really beautiful down here, and I know after I've been here for a little while and I've seen, you know, what it's like here in the summer, what it's like in the spring, I know why the South produced so much agricultural goods, because this land down here is so fertile. Because you take the heat with the humidity, like, everything is so green and lush, and it's like a tropical rainforest is what I want to say. It's like a tropical rainforest in Mississippi. Everything is so green and so bright and so light. Like, there ain't a damn brown spot of grass And a damn brown tree, you know, everything is green, 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 and lush, and just abundant greenery and flora and fauna, and you know, it's like a rainforest. It's really cool. So I'm really looking forward to growing all kinds of new stuff that I couldn't grow before. I'm gonna plant some orange trees and lemon trees and peach trees and like all kinds of, you know, southern tropical fucking palm trees. We got yucca and palm trees in the yard too. Not big ones, they're small, but I mean they got big palm trees down here. We just don't have any on property. But yeah, it's I love it down here. I love it. Southern life. And can't get better than southern living. Okay, y'all, I've been rambling about the garden a lot tonight. How does it get in the summer? Okay, I already answered that. Yeah, I told Marlene's coming to visit, and I'm like, girl, like, she's in the desert. She lives in the desert, and, like, it gets pretty hot there, but it's, like, a different kind of heat, right? It's like desert, it's, like, dry heat. It's not this humid, dank, fucking thick-ass heat we got down here. So I'm like, you know, if you want to come down here, y'all better come no later than, like, I would come down here past May. And that's pushing it. Like, I'd be shooting for no later than April to come down here because it's already getting consistently. It was 75 today. It was 75 today and the sun wasn't even shining. It was all cloudy and shit. And it was raining, drizzling off and on all day and it's still 75. So, yeah, I would. If you don't like the heat and the humidity, I wouldn't be coming down here like any later than April. That's pushing it. I will be installing a pool in the fucking courtyard again, so that'll help a little bit. It gets hot. It gets really fucking hot. And with my hot ass fucking spirits, like, I don't even fucking know. I don't even fucking know. And then my house is 74 for 2 weeks almost, and I don't even have the damn heat on. Okay. It's been 2 hours. Views have dropped a little bit, not much, but nobody's talking. So, I gotta get up early tomorrow, so I guess we will call it a night. I don't know when I'm gonna be back again. I'm backed up, got a lot of work to do. Orders are going out tomorrow. Actually, I gotta mark those as shipped. Y'all didn't get your notifications yet. I gotta do that quick. So, as always, like, subscribe, and share. Visit the shop, Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure, for any products we talked about here tonight, or any services that were discussed. Like me on Facebook. Did I just say Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure? No. The website is primitiverootsconjure.com. The Facebook page is Primitive Roots Appalachian Conjure. Follow me on Instagram at Primitive Roots Conjure. All the links are in the Dropbox below this video. Y'all have a lovely Valentine's Day and spend it however you choose to spend it. Enjoy it. Enjoy your week. And may all your ancestors have all the necessary light and elevation that they require. See y'all later.